cheater, cheater, pumpkin eater. Welcome to Beyond the Screen. I'm Nate, and today we're breaking down the top 10 celebrities who cheated on their spouse with another celebrity. Number 10, Will Smith. In 2015, Will Smith starred in a film called Focus, in which he plays a con man in the midst of his latest scheme when a woman from his past, played by Margot Robbie, arrives and throws his plans for a loop. The timing of this film being made could not have been more perfect, as we know now that Will and his wife Jada were taking a break at that time. For Jada, this meant an entanglement with August Alsina, weird way to phrase that, and for Will, this meant himself and Robbie were free to rehearse their scenes in private. It was confirmed that Margot and Will were seeing each other during production of Focus, and his wife was not happy about that. Despite being legally married in 1997, the institutionalized concept of tying the knot just never really sat with Jada. So apparently she only married Will because she became pregnant with Jaden and felt that it was the right move to make, which is always a great way to start a marriage. While Jada herself is also a cheater and has publicly admitted it, she has held a grudge towards Margot for 8 years with no signs of it stopping. Will and Jada are still together, but we can all agree that their relationship is the Hindenburg and somebody is gonna light a match. If you don't know what the Hindenburg is, just Google it. Number 9, Kristen Stewart. His skin was pale and cold, and that is how Kristen likes them. As many of us know, Kristen Stewart starred as Bella Swan in the film adaptation of the Twilight book series. She co-starred with Hollywood hunk Robert Pattinson as her love interest slash vampire, Edward Cullen. The on-set chemistry spilled into their real lives after it was announced that the two were a couple and the world stood still. These two together, a match made in heaven. How much more perfect could it be? Well, turns out it could only be worse. Photos of Kristen kissing a man named Rupert Sanders were published by Us Weekly. Sanders is a director and had been working with Stewart on his upcoming project Snow White and the Huntsman. Not only did Kristen cheat on Robert, but Sanders was married to a model and actress Liberty Ross at that time, so he cheated too. She rightfully filed for a divorce in 2013 and has since gone on to marry Interscope co-founder Jimmy Levine. While Stewart's love life has been much better, as she's currently engaged to fellow actor and screenwriter Dylan Meyer, who she met on the set of a film in 2013. Oh, that's so cute. Number 8, Brad Pitt. Brangelina took Hollywood by storm, and when they began their relationship in the late 2000s. What many may not know is that this iconic couple were bred from a disastrous breakup between himself and Jennifer Aniston. Jennifer, best known by me for her role in the 1993 comedy classic Leprechaun alongside Warwick Davis, was actually married to Brad in 2000 after already being together for 2 years. They spent $1 million on their wedding ceremony, which took place in Malibu, and everything seemed to be going well until around 2005, when the couple announced to People magazine that they were going to be getting a divorce. Around the same time, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie were working on the film Mr. and Mrs. Smith together. Rumors began to fly, and Brangelina was born. The couple officially announced their relationship a few months following the divorce from Aniston. They were married in 2014, but unfortunately Brangelina also filed for a divorce 2 years later. The relationship was a flop, but they adopted a bunch of kids and now they have a decent life, so I guess that's something. Number 7, Sydney Sweeney and Glen Powell. Glen and Sydney will be sharing a spot on this list as the situations they put themselves in are very similar. You may know Glen from his role in the recent Top Gun sequel Maverick, and you will recognize Sydney from the hit HBO series Euphoria. These two began filming a rom-com together in Australia earlier this year, and it turns out they got along really well. After being cast to play romantic interests in the film, the two spent so much time together that it would seem their chemistry had blossomed into a full-fledged romance. For a few months, photos of the pair kissing and cuddling both on and off set have been circulating online, and they're adorable. They seem to have a genuine connection instead of some PR forced relationship. It sucks though because they were both seeing someone when they met. Powell has been in a relationship with a woman named Gigi Paris, who is a model, for 3 years, and Sweeney was engaged to a very famous businessman named Jonathan Davino, who she had been dating for 4 years. When they met on set, it was like they stepped into another dimension and their partners didn't exist anymore, so they were free to be whoever they wanted. Of course, photos and rumors began swirling, and in April of this year, Gigi officially announced the end of her relationship to Powell after she discovered the rumors were true and they were in fact a couple. While they may have destroyed their already existing relationships, a new celebrity rom-com couple is sure to rise from their ashes. Number 6, Lindsay Lohan. This one hits home for me as I grew up with a sister around the time that this happened, and she was not having it. Aaron Carter is a musician who was very popular in the late 90s and early 2000s. In 2001, he started dating fellow pop star Hilary Duff, who had just broken onto the small screen with her much-loved comedy series Lizzie McGuire as the titular Lizzie. The couple were together for 2 years until Aaron suddenly decided that he wanted to date Freaky Friday star Lindsay Lohan at the same time as Hilary. Aaron eventually broke up with both girls by the end of 2003, but he accidentally started a feud that appears to have lasted to this day. While both were obviously mad at Aaron for his part, the young love made them mortal enemies. When Lohan hosted SNL in 2004, she made fun of Hilary on air by getting character actor Rachel Dratch to portray Duff during the cold open of the show. Aaron recently attempted to reach out to both Lindsay and Hilary, but he was denied. Rejected, yeah, you just got rejected. Okay, that's a Zoe 101 reference, but I'm just feeling nostalgic today. Doesn't have to do with Lindsay. Number 5, Kenneth Branagh. You may recognize Kenneth as the defense against the Doc Ott's teacher and the liar from Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, Gilderoy Lockhart. He met Miss Emma Thompson, the lead of Love Actually, in 1987 while filming the BBC series Fortunes of War, and they were married 2 years later. They were once the most A-list celebrity couple in England's history, collaborating several times during their marriage. Kenneth directed Emma in a long list of projects over the years, but by 1994, their romance hit a major pothole. While filming his movie adaptation of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, Branagh began a secret relationship, aka an affair, with Helena Bonham Carter, who had previously worked with Emma Thompson in 1992's Howard's End. At the time of the breakup, Kenneth and Emma expressed to the public that they would be splitting simply due to their busy work schedules, but it later emerged that the split was due to Emma having knowledge of the affair, and in 2016, she revealed exactly how her husband's infidelity affected her. She took this moment and used it to inspire her character's story in Love Actually, which has gone on to be one of her best performances to date. After breaking it off with Thompson, Branagh began dating Bonham Carter until 1999. Kenneth later got married to Lindsay Lohan. Thompson married actor Greg Weiss in 2003, and Helena Bonham Carter moved on to the king of the macabre, Tim Burton, and had 2 kids with him before calling it quits in 2014, meaning that she is single and ready to mingle. Number 4, Chad Michael Murray. Many will recognize Chad as the co-star of several rom-coms from the early 2000s, most notably starring alongside Hilary Duff in 2004's A Cinderella Story, which is one of the most underrated movies of all time, by the way, just check it out if you haven't. Chad met a woman named Sophia Bush on set of the series One Tree Hill, in which they play a couple with an on-again, off-again relationship. It turns out their real-life relationship would be just as rocky. The couple actually got married in April of 2005, but ultimately split up only 5 months later. The breakup followed a massive slew of rumors that Michael Murray had an affair with his House of Wax co-star Paris Hilton, and those rumors later were proven to be true. Paris had been dating Backstreet Boy Nick Carter for a few months when those rumors began to circulate, and he later revealed that his brother Aaron was actually the one that found out about Hilton cheating and told his brother what happened. Paris and Murray were never actually a couple, just the reason for several breaking up. Unfortunately, Bush and Murray had to continue working together on One Tree Hill following the split. Oh wow, that must have been just so much fun. Number 3, Debbie Reynolds. A bit of an older entry on this list. We need to address it though. Debbie Reynolds is a well-known Hollywood icon who ran the show during her time on the silver screen. Our younger audiences will recognize her as Grandma Aggie from the Halloween Town series. She appeared in various films over the 60s and 70s, including some alongside her then husband, one Eddie Fisher. Eddie and Debbie were Eddie and Debbie, it rhymes, it's cute. Eddie and Debbie were Hollywood royalty during their marriage. Debbie's friend Elizabeth Taylor was also a Hollywood icon at the time, being the lead lady in films like Cleopatra and Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, which is an aggressive title. When Taylor married her third husband, Mike Todd, Debbie was the maid of honor, and Eddie was Todd's best man. Not long after the wedding, Mike passed away in a plane crash, and Debbie and Eddie were there to comfort her. It appeared that Eddie got a little too comfy though, as himself and Debbie split only a few months later due to an alleged affair that Eddie had with Liz. After the split, Eddie and Taylor were married only to get divorced after 1 year. The feud between Taylor and Reynolds was strong until they reconciled in the early 2000s and even made a TV movie together called These Old Broads. Oh, check it out. Number 2, Meg Ryan. Meg Ryan was the rom-com queen of the 90s. She starred in Hollywood hits like When Harry Met Sally alongside Billy Crystal, You've Got Mail with Tom Hanks, and Sleepless in Seattle, again with Tom Hanks. You may be thinking, is Tom the man that she cheated with? Well, no, it was actually Russell Crowe. Russell and Megan were in Ecuador shooting their film Proof of Life when tabloids discovered that Ryan was cheating on her then husband of 9 years, Dennis Quaid, with Crowe. The news of the affair broke and spread around the world. Dennis quickly filed for divorce. Meg fought back hard against the allegations that the divorce was entirely her fault, as she claims that Dennis was unfaithful to her multiple times during their relationship. While Meg and Crowe ended up calling it quits not long after they got together, the film that brought them closer in the first place bombed hard at the box office, proving that bad press isn't always good press. And at number 1, Jack Nicholson. Here's Johnny! Jack Nicholson is surely burned into your memory in some way, shape, or form. His turn as the Joker lives rent-free in my skull 24/7. From 1973 to 1990, Jack had an on-again, off-again relationship with Angelica Houston, who you may know as Morticia Addams in the Addams Family movies, or perhaps her role as the head witch in the movie Witches. The relationship finally ended for good after Angelica discovered that Jack was expecting a child with Rebecca Broussard, whom he would go on to star with in several projects. According to Angelica herself, she confronted Jack on set following the news, essentially cornering him in a bathroom so that he wouldn't be able to get away from her. She wailed on Nicholson left and right, and she's quoted as claiming that there was no kicking, but the rest of the altercation made her feel like she was going up against a prize fighter. Jack was apparently very quick on his feet though, dodging shots left and right, and eventually Angelica stormed off in a huff. Nicholson was only married to Rebecca for 4 years before they officially called it quits in 1994. Well, hopefully it was worth the savage beatdown brought upon by Angelica Houston. And there you go, those are just some of the celebrities who cheated with other celebs. Who did we miss and who do you guys want to see? Should we make a part 2? As always, thank you for checking out our content. Please subscribe, like, and we'll see you next time.